The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The United States of America, Donald Trump, expanded travel restriction targeting AES states, Nigeria, and other African countries. You know, when it comes to the ban, Africa, we are always leading, even though there are other countries, but the target is always on Africa. And this time round, a lot of African countries are part, and Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso received a total ban, while the other African countries are only restricted partial restriction. The United States has expanded its travel restriction to include several countries, targeting states aligned with the Alliance of the Sahel states, alongside Nigeria and other African countries. President Donald Trump outlined new U.S. entry restriction targeting several countries, including Africa and Syria. The restriction aims to enhance national security by improving vetting, information sharing, and screening methods. Countries such as Burkina Faso, Mali, and South Sudan now face full entry limitation due to security concern. Partial restrictions are imposed on other nations like Nigeria and Zimbabwe, largely based on visa overstay. But they have given a lot of reasons to which they are banning other people from entering. Like they stated that Zimbabwe is because of visa overstay. But the reasons that they gave concerning our all in all will shock you. This is amazing. And we know the main reason to which these people are always targeting are all in us. But Africa, we are always saying that we will stand to fight regardless of what. After all, restricting or banning us from entering these countries will also give us the morale to fight to make sure we change our continent. We must stay here. And like Captain Ibrahim Traore would say, why will he leave this wonderful Africa to travel to anywhere? The new restriction dated December 16, 2025 are aimed at improving national security by addressing deficiencies in vetting, information sharing, and screening procedures. The proclamation maintains full restrictions and entry limitations for nationals of the original 12 high-risk countries designated under Proclamation 1494. Countries such as Afghanistan, Burma, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. The countries newly added to the U.S. full restriction include the AES states, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, then South Sudan and Syria, all of which have been flagged for security concern, particularly linked to ongoing terrorist activities and governance challenges. These nations now face full entry limitations, including suspension of visa issuance due to their inability to meet U.S. standards, or screening and information sharing. Governance challenges, as if we do not have governance in AES, because AES leaders decided to move outside of oppression. They are claiming that we are having governance challenges. But look at the beautiful things that we are doing in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Which of these African countries that are puppets are doing the bid of Africans? Look at the way they put it, governance challenges, because they know that their interest isn't served in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. So for that matter, to them, it is a challenge, not to you and I as Africans, because we know that when we take the leaders in Africa, the only leaders that are doing everything possible in their power to change the narrative in Africa are Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And we are not waiting for the oppressor to tell us what governance system that they think is best and what we should be using in Africa. We have seen good leadership under Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso, and we don't see any governance challenge in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Look at the reasons that always they give when it comes to Africans. Because whenever we have leaders in Africa that are not doing their bid, they always find means and ways in order to turn us against these leaders. But today in Africa, except the few people who are still under slavery and having colonial mindset, are the only ones that still believe that we are not doing anything good in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. And for that matter, there is governance challenges. But with those who believe and know what Africa is doing, we know that these are leaders are doing everything possible. They are the best that we have ever seen in our time. The rest of the leaders in Africa are rather doing nothing but to please the oppressor. And under this regime and system of the oppressor, Africa isn't moving forward, but we are always going backwards. In addition, Palestinian Authority issued travel documents will also face full restrictions following concern about compromised vetting process due to recent conflicts in the region. Several other African nations, including Angola, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Gabon, the Gambia, Malawi, Mauritania, Nigeria, Senegal, Tanzania, Togo, Zambia, and Zimbabwe are facing partial restrictions based primarily on their visa overstay rates, lack of passport control, and deficiency in civil documentation system. Among the newly added African countries, South Sudan is noted for its inclusion. The nation, which has struggled with internal conflicts and governance challenges since its 2011 independence, faces ongoing issues with terrorist groups operating in its borders. Those challenges have led to concern over the vetting of nationals seeking entry to the United States, particularly as the country lacks robust system for criminal records checks and civil documentation. This is amazing, as Africans. This is also a good move that will keep Africans back home so that together we can fight to make the continent a better place. So we'll also stop dying on the Mediterranean Sea in order to look for greener pastures somewhere else, because everything that we need is in Africa. There is nothing that we need that we cannot find in Africa. This is the time for us to also come back home, stay home, work to make the place a better place. So no other person decides who can enter their country and who cannot. And these are the people, when they finish taking everything from Africa, will turn out to tell us that we are not supposed to enter. Like one time another person said that after they create the chaos and we are not running away to them, then they will tell us that you cannot enter. There is fire in your home, so stay back. But no matter what, Africa will move forward. Like Captain Ibrahim Traore will always say, why will I leave this, my beautiful Africa, just to go and be a modern slave to another person? We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world and in the United States of America.